Rumor is Shawn didn't train the same for Bud as he did against Errol. Shawn was on his way out versus Bud. Could you please address this hot YouTube topic?
Welcome to Watch the Fight Boxing Talk. This video is about Porter's training for Spence as opposed to his training for Crawford. Personally, I don't care about how prepared he was for either fight at this point because it's old news and it's irrelevant now that the Spence-Crawford fight is official and only 3 weeks away. I'm making this video because this topic is still being discussed on social media, so we might as well talk about it. Many people believe that Porter did not prepare as thoroughly or as rigorously for Crawford as he did for Spence. This notion is based on the fact that Porter did not perform as aggressively with Crawford as he did against Spence, and he seemed to be a bit off of his game that night. Spence himself may believe this as well because he mentioned that both Porters admitted that the training was different and incomplete and unsatisfactory to Kenny's standards. Thus, he under-delivered on fight night and Kenny stopped the fight because he was unimpressed.
Shawn Porter said,
"What did I do to Shawn Porter that you couldn't do?"
Shawn Porter said he did not train like he should. He didn't do the things that his daddy told him to do. What are you talking about? Even his daddy said it. Even his daddy said it.
You butthurt that I got the
Even his daddy said it.
You butthurt.
Even Kev.
Bro, every time I hear Spence say daddy, it makes me think of his interview with Gilly, when Gilly pointed out Spence's accent and his lingo.
Just sitting here listening, your accent definitely say you're from the country. my daddy, he's from New York. You know my fucking pops, son. Facts, my fucking pops sit over there, my fucking father, with two fucking F's, my fucking father.
Gilly a trip. Now I can't help but laugh every time Errol says that word. Now, I think any boxing fan can observe that Porter fought harder against Spence, and that fight was more exciting and action-packed. I don't think that it has anything to do with Crawford, so I'm not going to take any credit from Crawford. He was responsible during his training camp, and he beat Porter up, and he took care of business. Porter's level of preparation is not Crawford's fault or his problem, so kudos to Crawford for getting that win. Some Bud fans observed that fight, and they conclude that Crawford is such a superior fighter that he made Porter look like easy work compared to Spence. And I accept that notion. If that's how they feel, I'm not mad at it because that may very well be true. I won't knock them for their observation, and I'm totally fine with it because I respect Crawford's abilities too. There is some pushback to that claim though, because some people say that Porter was actually winning the fight until round 10 when Crawford became alarmed that Porter was ahead on the scorecards.
He's not jumping in as much as he's not jumping in like come on, bro, pay attention to him. He's not jumping in like he was. Yeah, that's come on. Hey, we gotta go.
What does Porter have to say about it though? To make it short, Porter says his dad viewed Crawford as a major threat, but Porter viewed Crawford as another fighter that he would apply pressure to. But in Porter's words, some things in his plan and or his preparation backfired. And here's what he said.
I went to my dad's house probably in January, and we argued about why didn't you train hard against Dad? I trained hard. No, you didn't, Dad. I said, if you look at the numbers, everything's was consistent with that training as it was with everything else. I ran in the mountains. I did the swimming. And the heart rate checked out. The everything checked out. You know what I mean? I think that my dad, there were certain things that my dad expected me to do that I was just like, I've come too far for me to still be doing these certain things the same way and training as if I've never been here before. I said, you know what? For this one, I'm going to make sure that I have all the energy I need going into the ring. And if that means not doing as many rounds as you expect me to do, because I know what I'm doing at this point, yeah, that's what I'm going to do, you know? And so my dad really, he just didn't, I didn't explain it to my dad that way in the moment. And my dad didn't understand what was happening in the moment. But essentially, like I said, there were moments where he wanted me to run, and then after the running, go down and swim. And I said, I hollered at Wade. I said, yo, Wade, tell him I don't need to swim at this point. Wade's like, yeah, like the swimming at this point, you should have been done swimming a week ago. But my dad was pushing it so hard because he looked at Crawford like Crawford was the big bad wolf.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I didn't. You know, I tried to look at Crawford like he was just, you know, somebody else that was going to get it. You know, and I think in some ways, some of the things that happened in the ring and through the course of the fight, some things definitely, I felt like in the moment after it was done, I was like, yo, some things did backfire, you know?
Yeah, it's one.
Fighting these demons. Stay ready, I know that they scheming. They want my life and my freedom. Silent killer, you know how I treat them. I'm constantly fighting these demons. I know that I won't be defeated. Ain't running cause ain't no retreating. Self-love was all that I needed. I'm constantly fighting these demons. Stay ready, I know that they scheming. They want my life and my freedom. Silent killer, you know how I treat them. Steady fighting like a pugilist. Making moves like a fugitive. Tell he knew I ain't new to this. I don't trust.